Alright folks, we're here with part 4 of Distant Worlds 2, learning the game. We're going to go through the tutorial or the tours again. We've got 4 parts left, or 4 tours left. I think they're going to be kind of short though, might be able to knock them all out in this video, and then we can actually get to play in the game. And using what we're learning and take over the galaxy. So let's get started. Right, screen up, and let's get the tour going. Tours, and last time we did the ship design screen, so let's go with research. Research unlocks new tech that you can use to improve your empire in various ways. New ship hulls and components allow you to build bigger and better ships and bases. New planetary facilities help improve your colonies. Improvements to your ability to colonize new worlds, improvements to your ground troops, and provides various bonuses including improving your diplomatic relations with other factions. This button opens the research screen where you can view the entire tech tree and select new projects to research. You can also accelerate research progress by paying to crash research a project. When you have multiple research stations, you can research more than one project at a time. You set the upper limit to how many projects to concurrently research using this value. Research output comes from both the populations at your colonies and research stations that you build. To fully exploit your research output, you should also spend excess funding on research. Fully funded research means faster access to new technologies. You can allocate research funding in the funding's level screen, which is Control F2 in the Empire section. Empire section. One of these is funding, there it is. And research right here. Let's go back to this. Next. This screen lists all of the current research locations in your empire. This includes research stations and any other bases with research labs. Check the sort and filter options at the top of the panel. You can filter by specific research bonuses to quickly identify all of the locations for a particular research area in your empire. When zoomed out to the galaxy or system level, the research locations are highlighted on the map, and clicking them shows location, and you hover them and it pings, and double clicking them moves you to that location. Same copy paste paragraph there. And then research output. Each list shows the research output amount for the location. Also listed are any research bonuses at the location. Hover over the bonus description for a complete summary of all research bonuses at the location, including where they come from. If there are any scientists on board the base, they are also shown here at the top right. New research locations. This screen shows you locations you have explored that have special research bonuses. These locations are where you should build new research stations. Check the sort and filter options at the top of the panel. You can filter by specific research bonuses to quickly identify new locations for a particular research area. When zoomed out to the galaxy or system level with the ping thing and the double click thing, same paragraph. Clicking a list item will select it. Double clicking an item will move to that location. Each list item shows the research bonuses at the location. Hover over the bonus descriptions for a complete summary of all research bonuses at the location, including where they come from. Queuing new research stations. The button at the right shows you this one to queue construction of a new research station at the location. When the next construction ship becomes available, it will build a new research station there. You can click the button again to cancel. If you cannot build, it's because there's something wrong, and if you hover over it, it'll tell you what's wrong. So this is my moon here. Which button does what? Okay. If I build a research station here, it's going to give me plus 5% on any construction research that I'm doing. And 5,000, it seems like a lot. I've only got like 25,000, so I'm not going to click that right now. I don't want to tank my economy in the first 5 minutes of the game, so we'll just move on with the tutorial here. A red lightning bolt symbol will be shown next to the location name if the location is considered dangerous. A location is dangerous when there are uncleared threats present, like pirates or deadly space creatures. Non-military ships will not travel. Okay, so that's that same warning about the red lightning bolt that we've read before. Research bonus amounts. This screen lists all of the research bonuses in your empire split out by type. Drink of water here. Research bonuses are important in two ways. Research speed is increased for projects with the matching bonus type, e.g. researching new ship hulls is accelerated when you have construction research bonuses. Some research projects have extra requirements where they can only be initiated when you have sufficient research of a particular type. E.g. some high-end shield projects require you to have a certain threshold of shield research bonuses. Hovering over each research bonus type displays a complete breakdown of all the sources for the bonus in a panel at the right. Sure enough. These sources can include locations where you have built a research station. They can also include scientists and other characters. Other sources might be race or government bonuses. So imagine the screen, once you start building research stations at all of these places where you get more bonuses, I imagine you start stacking up the bonuses pretty high, and the research really gets going at that point, kind of snowballing. So, I don't know, I imagine the research tree itself has quite a curve, like the first few researches, they don't cost a lot of points, but then once you get up higher, it'll probably just be a whole ton of points, because it's assuming that you're getting all these bonuses. Scientists. Any scientist characters in your empire are shown in this list. There's my scientist. It's got a little technological monocle there. It's very, very impressive. Any scientist characters in your empire shown on this list, you can see the details of each scientist by hovering over the list entry and clicking to lock open the panel at the right. You can change a scientist's name by clicking on their name under the portrait and typing a new one. I don't believe I've had any I didn't see any comments yet for the names. Just getting started, so not a lot of views yet. But again, if you want something named after you, just put a comment in the video, and I'll name the leader or the scientist or anybody else who pops up, whatever, as long as it's appropriate. So, alternatively, you can automate the scientists so that your research advisors will select the best location for them. Use the automate button under the scientist portrait at the right. It's this button, I believe. Yeah. He's already automated. I already automated him. So. At the very bottom, down here, of the detail panel is a list of all the events that the scientist has been involved with. Various events can improve or decrease their skills or provide new character traits. So, they just appear so far as the only events. Nothing too crazy. That's that tour. Let's do the next tour. Research screen. Okay. So this one, yeah, it's a lot. This is actually, it doesn't look like a lot right now. But I can only see the next tier of things to research. Like once I research this, there's going to be a whole bunch more stuff. And it goes quite a ways. I've seen the full research screen before. There's a lot. So lots of stuff to research. I like to go for that. I kind of like games where I have pets or like minions or fighter squadrons to do my fighting for me. So just so I'll probably end up going for that. Anyway, the research screen shows all of the research projects. Projects must be researched to unlock their benefit. Researching takes time. The speed of research is determined by the research output from your colonies and research stations. Research projects provide the following types of new tech that can improve your empire in various ways. New ship hulls and components allow you to build bigger and better ships and bases. New planetary facilities help improve your colonies, improve your ability to colonize new worlds, improve your ground troops, provide various bonuses, including improving your diplomatic relations with other factions. Pretty sure this is the same thing I read on that last tour about research. So, okay, I'll forgive you guys. The left side of the screen is the lowest tech level. These are the techs that you have at the start of a new game. As you progress towards the right of the screen, the tech level increases. Projects are linked together by paths. Parent projects must be researched before child projects, so that and that. As you research one project, any child projects, usually to the right, are enabled for research. Blind versus non-blind research. When your game has been set up to use blind research, then you can only see the next available projects. So I have mine set for blind. That's why you can't see the whole the whole research screen or tree. But yeah, this is so basically I have the new stuff over here. Then I have some of the next tier, and looks like I got some tier 3 even showing. So, navigating the research screen. Oh yeah, I was wondering how to zoom out. Okay, yeah. See, even now with just the tier 1 and tier 2 stuff, it's pretty impressive. It goes all the way out here. It just keeps going. So. You can move the research screen by left-clicking and dragging with the mouse. The mouse scroll wheel will move it up and down. You can zoom in or out to view more or less available. You can do this in 2 ways. Hold control or just click the zoom buttons in here. You can also use the arrow keys to scroll up and down, left and right, okay. And then to move quickly up or down, you can hit page up, page down, okay. Viewing and researching a project, hovering over a project. Let's see, okay, yeah. Hovering over a project will present a summary of the project, including the benefits it unlocks. As you hover longer, a more detailed summary is displayed with comprehensive data on the project benefits. Note that you can also hover over projects in the research queue and the queued suggested project button. Okay, yeah, I kept hitting that button earlier. Queued up all this stuff. Right click a project to remove it from the queue. Some projects require it. Yeah, because actually I think I want research labs so that I can build more research equals better stuff faster. That's what I've learned in space games. Let's see. Cost may include initiation. Some projects require an initiation cost to be paid before research can begin. The cost may include money and resources. When you left-click to queue a project that has initiation costs, a prompt window will pop up asking you to approve payment of the costs. Some projects have extra research bonus requirements before you can begin researching them. This means that they can only be initiated when you have sufficient research bonuses of a particular type. Some high-end shield projects require you to have a certain threshold of shield research bonuses. You can obtain research bonuses in specific areas by seeking out these locations through exploration. When you find an area with special research bonuses, you can then build a research station there to obtain those bonuses for your empire. In addition, you can also obtain research bonuses in other ways. From your leader and scientist characters, some races have research bonuses in certain areas. Some planetary facilities provide research bonuses. Crash research. You can accelerate research of an important project by crash researching it. This means spending money to double the research rate for that project. To crash research, ensure the project is currently being researched. Click the project in the view. A prompt window will appear asking you to approve payment to crash research the project. Control panel. At the right of the screen is the research control panel. This panel provides a number of functions helpful for navigating the tech tree. Near the top is an explanation of the maximum number of concurrent projects. Hover over this for an explanation for their details. So, there you go. At the right are the zoom in, zoom out buttons and the jump buttons. Next are the jump buttons. Oh, okay. You can jump to different sections of research. Alright. Yeah, that's what that says. Filtering projects. Below this is a drop-down list. Okay, so you can filter which projects you would like to research. Then next is the suggested project button, so you click that and it'll queue up the whatever they suggest. So they're suggesting early energy deflectors. So it'll stick it in the queue after research labs when I click it, and then it'll change the suggested to the next thing. Now it wants armor plating. Okay, now it wants point defense, etc. Just keep on and on and on. Finally, there's the research queue. This is all the projects that are currently queued for research. The top projects are currently being actively progressed, the number of concurrent projects, while the subsequent projects are waiting until the top projects are completed. You can remove projects from the queue by right-clicking them in the queue. You can also move projects up and down the queue by using the arrows on the right. Exiting research. At the top is the exit research button. Clicking this button will close the research screen and return you to the game. Okay, cool. Put that back in the center. Get our home planet. Soon it will be doing things. What we got? 2 tours left, right? Yeah, military and civilian. Ooh, it's 12. Let's knock that out. Let's go. Military ships defend your empire against enemy attacks. They can also be used to expand your empire through conquest, attacking enemy fleets and invading enemy colonies. Military ships can also protect against marauding pirates and dangerous space creatures. Sorry about the yawns. Woke up and decided to knock out some more videos. But still waking up a little bit. Military ships come in various sizes and roles. As your tech progresses, you can research new military ship hulls that allow you to design and construct larger military ships. The Escort is the smallest military ship. It can fend off enemy raids, especially when you have multiple escorts at a location. Frigate is a fast ship, well suited to intercepting enemy raiders like pirates. Can also operate effectively as picket or escort ships in a fleet. Destroyers is the smallest ship that is well suited to offensive operations. Often have many standoff weapons, enabling effective ranged attacks against fixed targets like enemy bases. May have fighter bays, although at a significant cost in space. So in the space that it has available for weapons, the fighter bays will take up a lot of it. Cruisers. Very strong, capable multi-role strike ships typically have a balanced array of weaponry, but usually lack more exotic equipment like area weapons or hyper-deny components. May have fighter bays. Battleships. The largest type of military ship, typically loaded with a full array of weapon types: close-in, standoff, intercept, area, ion, hyper-deny. May also have fighter bays and long-range scanners. The obvious choice for fleet lead ships. Also good ships on which to station your valuable admirals. Carriers. Specialize with multiple hangar bays to house many fighters. Typically avoid getting directly involved in combat. instead relying on their large fighter complements to engage the enemy. May also have a long-range scanners and can be good fleet lead ships. Troop transport, specialized to transport large numbers of troops for invasion of enemy colonies or reinforcement of your own colonies. Also have assault pod components to deploy troops for invasion, typically part of a dedicated invasion fleet. Fuel tanker, supply fuel to the other ships, increasing their range, especially when in enemy territory. Can mine their own fuel from gas planets. Not strictly a military ship, but often assigned to fleets as support ships. Assigning missions. To assign missions to a military ship, first select it by left-clicking in the list. Then right-click over the target to assign the default mission. Holding down right-click will provide a list of all valid missions for the target. Select the desired mission type from the list. Attack initiates an attack against an enemy target, whether a ship, base, colony, or a space creature. Note that assigning an attack mission against an enemy colony to a ship carrying troops will initiate an invasion, with the ships attempting to land its troops at the colony. Raid attempts to lower the shields of the enemy base and then land raiding parties using assault pods. If the raiders defeat any defenders, they may be able to loot the base, gaining money or resources or tech. Capture attempts to lower the shields of the enemy ship or base and then land boarding parties attempting to take over the target. If the boarders defeat any defenders, they acquire the ship or base for your empire. Bombard. Orbital bombardment of an enemy colony, reducing the defenses, troops, population, or quality of the colony. Can be an effective way of softening a colony up before invasion. Bombard weapons are often specialized at destroying specific aspects of colony defenses. Blockade. Park at an enemy base or colony, preventing any ships from loading or unloading cargo or passengers. Will attack any ships attempting to run the blockade. Escort. Accompany a civilian ship, protecting it from attack by any threats. Guard. Park at a friendly base or colony, protecting it from attacks by any threats. Load troops. Load troops from one of your colonies onto a ship with spare troop capacity. Unload troops. Unload troops from one of your ships to a colony. And then we got the military ship list, which is, that's the same one we've been on. This screen lists all the military ships in your empire. Check the extensive sort and filter options. When zoomed out to the galaxy or system level, the military ships are highlighted. So highlighting the ping and the double click to go to it. Each list item shows the current mission for the ship. If the ship is part of a fleet, the fleet name is shown in brackets. After the ship name, also shown are the combat strength of the ship and the attack strength of any troops on board. Any characters on board the ships are shown to the right next to the mission description. Ships that are damaged or under construction have a red or orange background behind their image. Hover over the ship image to show the health level. Hovering over a list item displays a detailed summary in a panel at the right. Automation status. So there'll be a button to automate them to the right of the ship name. And tactical settings. Each ship has a full array of tactical settings that fine-tune how they operate. Open the tactical settings screen by selecting the ship and clicking the Set Tactics button at the far right under the selection panel. You can control how ships will respond to threats by setting the engagement range. For further details, hover over each setting of the tactical settings screen. Fleets. Fleets are groupings of military ships that act together to carry out missions. They have a home base that defines their center of operations. They also have an engagement range that defines the area they will engage enemy targets, a radius out from their home base. Fleet list. This screen lists all fleets. Check the sort and filter options. It does the whole hover over and it'll ping, and double click and you'll go to it. Current missions. Also shown are the number. Each list shows the current mission for the fleet. Also shown are the number of ships in the fleet, the combat strength of the fleet, and the attack strength of any troops in the fleet. The fleet role icon is shown at the far right. Any characters in the fleet are shown to the right, next to the mission description. Hovering over a list item displays a detailed summary in a panel at the right. The summary panel shows a complete breakdown of all ships in the fleet by ship role, damage level, and fuel level. It also provides details of any admirals or generals of the fleet. Templates and fleet roles. As explained previously, fleets are based on a template. Fleets can have a specific role such as attack, raid, defend, or evade. These fleets will select missions appropriate to their fleet role. You can also choose to control a fleet manually by setting its role to manual fleet role button under the selection panel, or by simply assigning a mission to the fleet, thus automatically changing it to a manual fleet. So if you have something set to automate and then you give it a manual order, it's going to be manual from then on. So creating new fleets. You can create a new fleet in a number of different ways. Select multiple ships in the main view by drag selecting with the left mouse button held down or control clicking each ship. Then click the Create New Fleet button under the selection panel. Select multiple ships in the military ships list by control and shift clicking ships in the list. Then click the Create New Fleet under the selection panel. Or in the Fleet Template screen, select the desired template and then click either Form New Fleet or Build New Fleet buttons at the right. Is there such a button? Oh yeah. Okay. Now I did it. Let's see. Alright, well, I assume it'll close that for me. Nope, darn it. Can't get to... Alright, how do I close you? I guess I have to close. No, I can't. Alright. Now we did it. Escape. Alright, got it. Fleets have a full array of tactical settings that fine-tune how they operate. Open the tactical settings screen by selecting the fleet and clicking the Set Tactics button at the far right under the selection panel. You can control how fleets will respond to threats by setting an engagement range. For further details, hover over each setting in the tactical settings screen. Note that individual ships within a fleet also have their own tactical settings. You can tweak how the fleet and ship tactics interact in each section. Fleet ships tactical overrides. Fleet templates. Fleet templates allow you to define the composition of your fleets, setting the amount of ships for each ship role. They also define a group of default tactical settings. You can then create new fleets based on a template. Fleets will attempt to include ships that match the roles and amounts outlined in their template, but if there are insufficient ships available for a desired role, the fleet will fall back to using ships from other roles to fill out the overall number of ships. Each fleet role has a default template: attack, raid, defend, evade. You can also manually create other templates for each fleet role. You can create new fleets by manually selecting ships and then forming a fleet with them. However, the fleet template screen provides a couple of quick ways of creating new fleets. In the fleet templates screen, you can select the desired template and then click either the Form New Fleet or Build New Fleet buttons at the right. Troops are used to invade enemy colonies and defend your colonies against invasion. Troop units are recruited at your colonies and take time to reach operational readiness. Larger colonies can train and recover troops faster than smaller colonies. New units can be unlocked through research. Higher level troop units can only be recruited when the required planetary facility is built at a colony. Troops can be garrisoned at colonies. This means that they are permanently stationed at the colony to defend it and thus will not be picked up by troop transport ships. Troop units have a one-off monetary cost to recruit. They also have ongoing annual maintenance costs. Each troop also has a size. Some are small, whereas others are larger. Size is important when considering troop carrying capacity for troop transport ships and invasion fleets. Troop unit types. There are 5 types of troop units. Infantry, the basic defensive troop unit. Infantry are available from the start of the game. Each race has its own unique infantry unit with various strengths and weaknesses. Armored, the primary attack troop unit, requires an armor barracks facility to recruit. Planetary defense, specialized defensive troop units that can intercept enemy troops as they travel from their landing ships to the planetary surface, requires a planetary defense center facility to recruit. Special forces, highly trained infantry units that specialize in taking out colony defenses during an invasion. Ground facilities, defending planetary defense units and enemy generals, and it requires a special operations barracks facility to recruit. And then Titans, very strong high-end attack units, requires a Titan manufacturing center facility to recruit. The troops list. This screen lists all of the troop units in your empire. Check the extensive sort and filter options. You can sort by all kinds of things. When you zoomed out, you can hover over them and they'll ping, or you can click on them, double click on them, move to them. And then each list shows the attack strength, defense strength, maintenance costs for the troop unit. Hovering over a list item displays a detailed summary. In the panel at the right, garrison troops are indicated by a blue line underneath their image. So, blue line. And so they're garrisoned here at my home base. And it cost me 200 credits per cycle of time. And yeah. So. Army templates. Army templates allow you to define the relative composition of troop types. Army templates are used by fleets and colonies to specify how many of each type of troop they should have. There are 4 basic types of army template. Invasion, assigned to fleets to define which troops should be used when invading enemy colonies. These would typically include lots of armor, some special forces, some infantry, and titans if available. Major colony defense, assigned to major colonies like your capital to define which troops should be used to defend the colony from invading enemy troops. These would typically include all troop types, but especially lots of infantry and planetary defense units. Border colony defense, assigned to vulnerable border colonies to define which troops should be used to defend the colony from invading enemy troops. These would typically include lots of infantry and some planetary defense units. Standard colony defense, assigned to all other colonies to define which troops should be used to defend the colony from invading enemy troops. These would typically include lots of infantry. There is a default template for each type, but you can modify these or create additional templates that match your needs. Assigning army templates. You can select an army template for a colony by selecting the colony and using the Set Colony Automation Army Template buttons under the selection panel. This will pop up a list of all army templates that can be used. Admirals and Generals. Any admiral or general characters in your empire are shown in this list. You can see the details of each character by hovering over the list entry and clicking to lock open the panel at the right. You can change a character's name by clicking on their name under the portrait and typing a new one. Admiral and General locations. Admirals apply their combat bonuses when they are on board a military ship, and especially when they are in a fleet. You should use the location drop-down list and the transfer button to assign them to a particular fleet or other location. Admirals can also provide non-combat bonuses when stationed at spaceports, ship construction speed. Generals apply their ground combat bonuses when they are at a colony, either defending one of your own colonies or invading an enemy colony. You should use the location drop-down list and the transfer button to assign them to a particular fleet or colony. To use a general defensively, you should place them at one of your colonies. To use them for attacking, you should place them in one of your invasion fleets. Generals can also provide non-combat bonuses when stationed at colonies, like troop recruitment rate. Alternatively, you can automate the admiral or general so that your military advisors will select the best location for them. Use the automate button under the character portrait at the right. And events, it's the same thing at the bottom of the screen of the general. It'll show, or admiral will show the events that they've had in their life or whatever that's made a difference in their skills. Defensive bases. Defensive bases are heavy weapons platforms that are used to defend important colonies. They are built in space around the colony and provide substantial firepower to combat attacking enemy forces. Defensive base list. This screen lists all of the current defensive bases in your empire. Check the sort and filter options at the top of the panel. When zoomed out to the galaxy or system level, the defensive bases are highlighted on the map. Hovering over an item in the list will ping the location on the map. Clicking the item will select its location. Double-clicking the item will move the view to that location. Monitoring stations are specialized bases that provide long-range scanners to monitor strategic locations. They are built at quiet locations that are within range to monitor enemy targets. This screen lists all of the current monitoring stations in your empire. Check the sort and filter options at the top of the panel. When zoomed out to the galaxy or system level, the monitoring stations are highlighted on the map. Systems and location badges also indicate spaceports using the yellow construction icon. Hovering over an item in the list will ping the location on the map. Clicking the map will select its location. Double-clicking it will move to that location. New monitoring station locations. This screen lists ideal locations where you should build new monitoring stations. When zoomed out to the galaxy, okay, same thing. Double click to go to it, and hover over to ping, etc. Queuing new monitoring stations. The button at the right allows you to queue construction of a new monitoring station at the location. You can click the button again to cancel. If you cannot build at the location, it will be disabled. Tooltip will tell you why it's disabled. Okay. I don't have any monitoring locations. Enemy targets. This screen lists known enemy targets that you can attack with your fleets. These include fixed targets like enemy bases, pirate bases, and colonies. It also includes enemy fleets for which we know the current location. When zoomed out to the galaxy or system level, the enemy targets are highlighted on the map. Hovering, copy paste paragraph again. Each list shows the known enemy strength at the target location. For enemy bases, it also shows the current health level of the target. Defending strength. For enemy colonies, it shows the known defending troop strength. Note that this can be an estimate when the colony is not directly visible, so caution is needed when considering whether to invade. Queuing attacks. This button at the right allows you to queue an attack against the target. When the next appropriate fleet becomes available, it will assign an attack mission against the target. You can click the button again to cancel the attack. If you cannot attack the target, the Q button will be disabled. A tooltip below will tell you why. And finally, we got dangerous locations. Some locations are dangerous. Some locations are dangerous because they have known hostile threats. These threats usually include mobile targets like pirate ships and deadly space creatures. These threats often move between locations, so this information is transitory and is updated often. Civilian ships will not travel to a location which has hostile threats present. This means that construction ships will not build bases there. Exploration ships will not explore further there. It also means that mining ships will not mine there, nor will freighters pick up cargo from there. The dangerous locations list. This screen lists the dangerous locations and all known hostile threats. And you can sort them. You can do the zoom thing and hover and double click on them. And then each list shows the major threat at the location along with the total hostile strength. It also indicates when this information was last updated and thus how accurate it is. Queuing investigation. The button at the right allows you to queue an investigation and clearance of the dangerous location. When the next appropriate fleet becomes available, it will move to the location and clear out any threats it finds there. You can click the button again to cancel the investigation. If you can't investigate the location, the Q button will be disabled. A tooltip on the button will tell you why. Okay. So that puts us at, I looked over a minute ago, puts us at 40 minutes for this. One tour left. How big is it? It's 5 long. We'll go ahead and knock this out real quick, and then finally for part 5 we can finally get into actually playing the game. Let's see, all civilian ships. This screen lists all of the civilian ships in your empire. This includes freighters, passenger ships, and mining ships. Civilian ships are part of your civilian economy, so you cannot normally assign missions to them. Instead, they seek out their own missions, moving cargo, transporting tourists, and migrants, and mining resources. When zoomed out to the galaxy or system level, you can hover and click and double click and all that good stuff. Okay. Freighters. So the screen lists all the freighters in your empire. Freighters are part of your civilian economy, so you cannot assign missions to them. You can filter them, sort them, and you can hover over them. You can double click them. Basically, they're moving your resources around to where they're needed, and you can't do anything with them. But they do make you money. So same with passenger ships. They're moving your people around. You can zoom and click and filter and all that stuff. Resort bases. This screen lists all the resort locations in your empire. So you do build resorts, so you can control that. Resorts are destinations for tourism. Passenger ships will transport tourists to resorts, earning income for your empire. When zoomed out to the galaxy or system level, the resort bases are okay. Yeah, and then you can double click them and they'll highlight and ping them and all that good stuff. Here we go. New resort. So here in my home planet, Cimmeria 3, it has plus 10% scenery. So if I built I don't have a resort base design because I haven't researched enough. But once I have enough stuff researched, I can build a resort base here. And then people from my other colonies, which I'll eventually have, will come here. And every time they do, they'll make me money. Yeah, so that's basically what this says. And how to build it. And then you'll have to clear out dangerous locations first. So yeah. Okay, well, that was all the tours that we went through. I read them mostly all out to you, so hopefully that helps you understand the game. It helped me understand the game, so now we can actually get to playing the game. I might, if I can, I don't know if I can change the name of playlists on YouTube or not, but if I can, I'm going to change the playlist name to the going over the tutorials for Distant Worlds 2, and then I'll start a new playlist where I'm actually playing. That way people can just skip over this whole series unless they want to go through the learning process like I did, and want me to read to them. So, well, thanks for joining me, and we'll see you next time.